A very delicious good afternoon, warm, hot good afternoon to all of us. I'm called him Dawn and Ed Bundy. This is my first video out there, today being 14th February 2026. Making this video today is deliberate in the sense that a lot of people are celebrating Valentine's Day, which is good, not bad at all, spreading the love. But I'm coming from a totally different angle, a totally different frequency, as it were. Today apparently happens to be my younger brother's posthumous birthday. You heard me right. Yeah, he's late, he's passed on. And I sat down and I started just thinking about life, and I was like, okay, let me put it out there, just share with my people out there. It's amazing how at every single step in life, themes and situations are just juxtaposed in the sense that some are celebrating life, others are mourning, um, mothers are giving birth to bundles of joy, other mothers are losing their children at the point of birth, um, others are winning, others are losing. Life just happens to just throw irony at us at every single point in time, yeah? And you ask yourself sometimes in the midst of anguish, depression, pain, when you're going through a sense of loss, you just feel like giving up. But at some point, to pause and ask yourself certain questions. Hmm, do I really want to give up? Or do I want to move on? You know, most times it's easier to want to give up. But the truth of the matter is this: when we give up, then what? Let's pause and think about that. You know, I once read somewhere that life is when you ask questions and question answers until you arrive at an answer that cannot be questioned and a question that cannot be answered. If I'm going to zoom in on a certain emotion, a four-letter word emotion, pain, and if you want to look at it from the plural angle, pains. But let's just stick with pain. As the world advances, as life advances, it looks as if pain is on sale. In the sense that every corner you enter, every household you go into, literally, there's some kind of pain or the other. It's either they experienced it in the past or they're still experiencing it at that moment. You go into their homes and you're wondering what is really going on now, because it's like it's on the increase right now. I remember when I've lost two younger brothers, by the way. I lost the first one in 2022, 16th February. And the last one I lost him 16th September 2024. Um, you know, the truth is that pain is personal. It really is personal in the sense that it's wrong for people to want to come and define your pain for you or to want to try and understand what you're going through at that particular point in time. Ecclesiastes talks about time for everything. There's a time to cry, there's a time to mourn, and there's a time to be comforted. You see, the worst thing that can happen to anyone is to say, okay, I'm going to just climb up, just close up and not feel the pain. A lot of people do that, and see, because they were wired, we need to feel that emotion at that particular point in time. Don't deny, don't live in self denial, because I realized that pain has a cycle. What it does is that The first time I heard the news, let me go personal, when the first younger brother that died, it was really devastating. And the first time I heard it, first of all, it was shock and denial, I guess the two at the same time. And later anguish, then questions. David said in the book of Psalm 131, he said, teach me to winnow my heart like a child, so I won't ask questions that could cause me to sin or will cause me to sin. And I realized that because of the pain I was going through and some questions I was asking God, at some point I also had to say, hey, girl, you need to calm down because there was just so much pain. I just had this sense of loss. I felt that, God, why would you even allow that happen? A lot of people ask those questions, ask that question, and eventually I started opening up to pain. Now, this is so key, this is so important because a lot of people try to live in self denial. It's not nice. God gave us emotions for a certain reason. Jesus Christ expressed emotion in the Garden of Gethsemane, and there's nothing wrong with expressing yourself. When you're going through pains, nothing wrong with that. You really need to express yourself because these are phases. Eventually, this too shall pass. And I went through that phase of my life. Then imagine thinking I was getting close to the healing point. I was like 2+ years later. Then the other young brother died, the one that his birthday happens to be today. And I was like, wow. So I thought I was coming out of this morning phase, then this hits me. You don't want to know what I went through. I literally gave up on life. I remember when the other one died, I was like, God, my life for his life. I literally prayed that prayer, but then God is sovereign, God is all knowing. We can't question his acts at the end of the day. Whether we question the acts, whether we don't question the acts, he is still God. He will not change. And I realized that in spite of the pains, there's still so much out there. In the midst of the grief, people still called me, asking me questions, seeking advice, seeking encouragement. Yeah, I was still mourning, but I realized that this is bigger than me. I realized that there's actually a bigger assignment out there. God did not call me to myself. He called me to people. He called me to others to serve. How do I serve? With my words, with action, conduct, acts of kindness, as I walk in the fruit of the Holy Spirit. Not fruits, it says fruit of the Holy Spirit. So that the more Christ's reflection is in me, the more it's easy to lend a helping hand to someone who's broken, who's going through so much. Pain, it is real. Pain can destroy. Pain can self-destruct actually, if not managed properly. Pain can misdirect. It can throw away destinies if one is not careful. Pain can just cause a lot of damage. It steals, literally. Is it okay to go through that phase? It is okay. But also have to realize that everything has an expiry date. So you need to get to a point where you're like, I think this is getting a bit too much. And this is important. I seek the help of the Holy Spirit at every point in time. Holy Spirit, I need you through this pain. It hurts, but I need you. I need you. He's always there to supply the strength I need per time. I miss my brothers so much. I do. I do. But you see, as I said, there's a bigger picture. There's a bigger story. It's bigger than me. And one thing I won't do is to put a full stop in my story where God has only put a comma. I won't put a full stop because God is still writing my story. This is bigger than me. God is helping me deal with the pain. I won't sit here and lie and say, oh, I've gotten over them. I can never get over my brother's passing. But you know what? I need to submit myself for healing. I do. And that's what I'm doing. Just thought to put it out there. Um, Happy Valentine's. I'm sure you're all going to have a lovely time. You take care. I love you all.